How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another rookie review. We're talking about Cason Wallace today. One of my favorite prospects in the class, was super high on him coming out, and he had an awesome rookie year. So let's break his game down. How good can he actually become after being, a really nice role player for the Thunder? Like, subscribe, comment, almost to 8K, which is so cool. Thanks, everyone, for the support. Let's get into it. And Cason, basically day one, was a legit role player for the Thunder, and defense is his calling card. As a 6'4", 6'5", long, versatile defensive guard with some of the best hands and gap closing ability in the league. Cason's already a nasty dig defender. He's great at the nail just because of his quick, accurate hands and his length. Look how quick he gets in there, steals the ball from Jaren, turns that the other way. Cason definitely had some, fouling moments as rookies do, but he is a phenomenal off-ball defender. He's kind of guarding 2v1 here as he notices Naz on Shea, kind of mismatched, but Cason is kind of shading in this hole here in the gap, but also keeping track of Anthony Edwards. His hand is in the passing lane, ends up getting a ball on that. He really does play defense like a cornerback, and I really like players who play like that. Very instinctual, really smart at denying passing lanes and just playing those kind of gaps as an off-ball defender. I think it's a really valuable skill to have. He's a great, low man tagger here. Cason's job, right after Chet steps up, is to help the helper. Cason sinks down, an accurate swipe with his left hand. He turns the ball over and gets the break going the other way for OKC. Just a really smart rotational defender that you don't often see from rookies his age. Immediately here on this inbound play, Lively slips, but before Lively even gets the ball, or before the ball's even out of Kyrie's hands here, Cason is already sliding to cut off Lively, protect the rim, and give Chet time to recover because he notices what's happening. He's anticipating, he's reading the floor in front of him, he's processing the game in an instant. Talked about processing speed is such an important trait for role players, especially for stars and for role players. And that's not a good shot. We'll talk about the offense eventually, but talk about playing defense like a DB, right? Cason very jumping in the air, leaping one-handed interception with the left. Whew, that is a beautiful play by Cason Wallace. He was really remarkable in terms of steal numbers this year. I know his steal rate was above 2. He had a lot of steals for rookies and for all players. Just a really good job, always keeping his hands in passing lanes, even when he's not always staring or connected to the guy. He's still kind of facing forward. Brandon has momentum, but Cason's hips are so fluid. He moves and changes directions so well. Cason is not the most explosive athlete in the whole world, but he is so good moving and changing directions and gliding around screens and stuff, and he uses that to his advantage on and off the ball. This is a really nice play where he kind of gets washed out a little bit, but this is kind of what OKC will do on defense a lot of the time, and we'll talk about this more, is when their point of attack defender gets super deep and there are rim protectors in the paint, they'll often peel off to cover other options and rely on guys like Chet to protect the rim, and that's exactly what Cason does here. He gets beat on the screen. Chet and Wiggins step up. Cason's going to cover the passing options, and when you have a guy with his kind of not only instincts and floor reading skill, but his hands, just crazy quick lines, that was a nice play. It's a real weapon, and hey, I'm not sure if anyone noticed, but this guy's a rookie. This is a rookie breaking up this no-look lob in transition. This is hilarious. There's literally nobody there. D'Lo's trying to no-look away, and Cason's just staring at him, reads where LeBron is, breaks up that lob without fouling. It's really not rookie stuff. And I think if there's any limitations to him as an off-ball defender, it's just that he's not the biggest guy in the world, right? 6'4", 6'5", and though he has the length and the instincts to play on the interior and to guard bigger players off the ball, he's going to get overwhelmed by size at times. That's just always going to be a thing for him, and that will limit his off-ball value at some point. It's hard to protect the rim when guys like Kuminga can just shoot over you even when you're in good position. And coming into the draft, I was a little worried about his on-ball defense. Cason, to me, was a special off-ball defensive prospect, and he showed that. But he had a lot of flashes, but was shaky on the ball. And there was a little bit of that here, of those same issues that popped up this year, getting caught kind of flat-footed. The technique wasn't great, right? He was late reacting here. Poole's able to get a pretty easy step, and he isn't able to finish those plays. And a lot of his issues like not finishing plays. He ends up getting a hand on this ball from Trae Young, but he's going to end up really getting shaken here, not able to change directions and slow down in time. It's not that he was a bad on-ball defensive prospect. He was just raw, I would say, and not perfectly refined. As Halliburton's able to get him on the screen, he turns his hips, and though Cason is like good at sticking, this is kind of the Thunder defense thing I was telling you, where I don't think it's fully a Cason issue here as much as like the way that they play. They pinch in the wings really heavily. They peel and kind of let Cason go roam after. But that's not really a situation where Cason can do that. There's nothing to roam off of, and when you don't have Chet back there to protect the rim, it definitely isn't as smooth. And again, he gets beat by Brunson. But if you watch the Thunder at all this year, you probably have an idea of where this is going, and that is Cason was awesome on the ball this year, which I did not expect, straight up. And Cason was like ripping Brandon Ingram in the playoffs. Again, you see how accurate and long he is with those hands. Like that's crazy. Crazy length, accurate swipe, and Cason did this to ball handlers all season, and it's a luxury when you have the kind of defensive talent OKC had, even before adding like the guys they added this offseason. But Cason's ability to mirror, change directions, and be balanced, this is one of the most impressive on-ball defense flashes from a rookie we saw last year, where cuts off the initial FVV drive, right? He's quick laterally, mirrors the drive, swipes but doesn't get beat, kind of reacts to this hesitation crossover. I like the hop back here, and he's super quick, kind of hopping backwards, but then hopping to the side to stick with Van Fleet. And of course, credit to the dig here for slowing him down, and then just rises up to block that little floater. Cason is an incredible like jumper shot blocker, as we'll get to. Here's another example of the hands being ridiculous. Shangu, nope, you cannot dribble around Cason Wallace. Sorry, unless you have a very tight handle. Dribbling around Cason Wallace is going to be a struggle, and his ability to like open his hips to change directions on guys is really impressive. Here he's pretty much sprinting with Kyrie full court, trying to catch up, slows down with Kyrie, plants his back foot, changes directions, contests a really difficult shot. That's excellent defense on one of the most creative ball handlers and scorers in the entire NBA. And what did I say about blocking jumpers? He just got a lot of guys. I don't think they expect his length. Or Cason, even if he kind of gives up a bit of airspace, because he is, one, really explosive off the ground. Look how high Cason gets up. And two, has that length to block shots. It definitely caught some shooters off guard this year, where I would guess they didn't expect Cason to get the kind of blocks he did. That's another great possession. Cason's not the strongest guy in the world. He's a rookie. Like, Harden will be able to push him back and generate leverage, but Cason knows this, and he's great at. This is a thing that so many great skinny bigs do well, like his teammate Chet, and Evan Mobley, and Jaren Jackson, right? They know how to absorb these bumps, and even though they can't necessarily bump back and hold ground, Cason knows that if he like absorbs on his own contact, keeps balance, maintains the center of gravity, gets a hand on the ball there, and ends up staying in Harden's airspace and contesting, ends up getting a board. Shea cleans up. Cason blocks the shot. Like, it's such a nasty guard defense. And now they're going to have Caruso. Oh, my goodness. That is really just disgusting to think about. Here's Cason blocking another Kyrie pull-up three. Disgusting to think they're adding Caruso to this guard room with Dort and Shea and Cason and just their treasure trove of defensive pieces. Really good job initially here by Cason. His screen navigation isn't always consistent, but when he is good, he's attaching. Look how close his foot is to Drummond's top foot. He keeps his hand on him, stays attached, and he does kind of give up this at the end, but Cason has the hands to recover and steal the ball from Kobe White there, even if he's not perfectly in tune. Another great play against Jordan Clarkson, blocking this. I think this is the second block against Jordan Clarkson. Again, we see him cutting off the middle drive. It's like Cason's ability to be in these like awkward positions. Like most players fall over here. Most players I don't think are able to recover backpedaling off balance, but Cason can plant his back foot, immediately change directions, and stick with Clarkson. And his ability to guard a bunch of defenders, a bunch of different offensive players, and be relatively successful as a rookie, crazy impressive to me. And Cason was a really nice rim protector too. He's not like a shot blocking guard like Shea even or Derek White or whoever, but he can be a low man, get blocks at times. It's more about just not being the most dynamic vertical athlete and being more of a perimeter specialist, not even a specialist, a perimeter oriented guy. But he has the instincts. We saw in that Derek Lively play earlier where he rotated down and took it away on the inbounds play. Cason does have the ability, and I love this play, just fronting Braun in the post, getting a steal. LeBron is pissed. He's like, what's this rookie doing to me? But Cason's defense is awesome. Like, I don't have a lot of bad to say, really, and that's rare for rookies. Most rookies make a lot of mistakes on defense. Cason really doesn't, and I commend him for what he did on defense this year. Obviously was helped by his situation, right? But still, a lot of rookies in great situations aren't good on defense, and Cason really was. And offensively, it was kind of the same story. He was maybe a little less remarkable, but Cason was unbelievably efficient, hit a ton of corner and wing threes. Like, yeah, Cason's not a crazy movement shooter. He's not going to create a ton off the dribble and pull up from three, but he is going to confidently shoot off the catch. He's not just going to stall your offense. He's going to hit, catch, and shoot threes. He was on fire from corner three all season. I believe he shot above 40% or around 40% from three on the year. And Cason's a smart spacer as well. He played out of the dunker spot a ton as OKC's creative offense position guards basically everywhere. And he was really good spacing and relocating. Notices Kenny Ussel cutting in front of him, backs out to the corner, gets that pass from Gordon Hayward, cashes it over the Jaren Jackson contest. Just a very confident shooter off the catch, and that's not something we were 100% sure about. Like, he had a good shooting projection, good free throw, good touch, shot a ton of off-dribble mid-ranges, but the volume wasn't crazy at Kentucky, but he immediately slotted into this awesome shooting off the catch guard, which is great. And this is just an awesome plays. Cason was pretty effective attacking closeouts as well. He finished, despite having a shaky handle and a shaky creation game, Cason was an incredibly efficient finisher in college, and he was an absurdly efficient finisher for a guard, or really for any player, his first year in the league. And this is just OKC offense, 5-1 pick and pop here. Cason ejecting to the top of the key, has the switch, beats Pirtle to the rim, beautiful little scoop finish, off foot, right hand. That's just beautiful stuff. Cason's an awesome finisher, so crafty, and he's a really nice passer as well, attacking out of these closeouts. Cason's not a special passer or anything, but Trey Murphy closes out, Brandon Ingram steps up, makes a simple delivery to J-Dub for this easy pass. Cason's not going to blow you away with high level live dribble reads, but he is going to play solid basketball and make good decisions. And I think Cason, part of what he's such an explosive finisher, despite not being, or I shouldn't say explosive. He is, I think, explosive enough. Like, jumps off of 1 foot here, takes contact in air, has to contort his body. His body control is really what always stood out to me. Cason's ability to maintain balance in air, maintain concentration, and finish through that kind of distress through a weak side rim protector was one of the reasons I liked him so much in college, and that translated over. He's got plenty of basic, secondary pick and roll, empty side bounce passes. Again, nothing crazy, but something you like your ancillary guards to be able to do. And of course, the Thunder are not afraid to use their guards as bigs. Another role, and this time he slips here into the middle of this zone-ish type defense, reads the floor quickly, bounce pass to Chet on the cut. He's playing as your short roll big hub passing. He can pass as a point guard. He can pass off the ball. This is a really nice play here. Wiggins ends up getting the fly-by three. He saved basketball, by the way. And Cason Wallace, just simple decision-making right here. Doesn't waste time. A lot of rookies will waste time. They don't necessarily know what to do attacking closeouts. They'll hesitate. They'll turn the ball over. But Cason attacks the top foot, spins back, sees the help step up, throws the skip pass. This is the more higher-level closeout attack creation stuff. Because Cason is probably not going to be asked to do any kind of real creation for the foreseeable future. OKC is stacked, and Cason was a very capable fifth starter as a rookie, and I'd only expect him to get better, right? He's just simple decision making, right? Cason's playing out of the dunker spot again. Naz Reid steps out to block from behind. He turns and finds Kenrich Williams for an open three. It's nothing crazy, nothing super eye-popping, but it's efficient. It moves the offense along. It's very OKC Thunder, right? I do think there were some decision-making issues, especially in the playoffs. That makes sense, right? They're really game planning here. Derek Jones is kind of going to run Cason off the line, force him to dribble, force him to make tougher decisions, and that's not always going to go well for Cason, especially when I think keeping the handle alive and maintaining his dribble and maintaining his advantage, that's going to be a concern to watch going forward for sure. It's not something that I think Cason is just locked in good at. Is he'll like pick his dribble up here, right? It's like when defenses are running him off the line, kind of jumping at him pretty aggressively, Cason does kind of struggle at the moment to create off of that, to attack closeouts. But I do think all these issues are stuff that will come. And he wasn't very efficient in this like mid-range floater area, which he was pretty good at in college, but just really struggled to elevate over guys to get good shots. But I still don't mind shots like these. Like, he's not wasting time, immediately attacking off the catch, quick decision into a floater. Like, I don't hate that shot. I would like for Cason to be able to develop and make that shot, but it's certainly not a strength of his right now. He did showcase some off dribble shooting flashes, and even though it was really low volume just because of the nature of the Thunder and inefficient, there were some real moments, like attacking this closeout like fourth quarter in the playoffs against Dallas at home, hyping up the crowd. Like, this is a big time play here and a confident one from the rookie. He's not hesitating. Pump fake, sidestep, step back, pump fake, easy jumper. Like that's veteran stuff, veteran shot making in the playoffs from a rookie. Like, it's obviously not every rookie gets to play in the playoffs and gets the chance to show off that they can do that, but Cason got his chance and he took it. And I think he's got enough juice to like attack switches off of a closeout. He's never going to be a creator, and I think that's always going to limit his ultimate ceiling, but Cason can like get a big on a switch, in and out cross, kind of step back into a mid-range pull-up. Like, that's what Cason did in college a lot, and I think there's certainly more to unlock. I don't know if he's going to get the touches to do it because of how ridiculously stacked his team's going to be, but there were enough of these flashes last year to where I'm at least intrigued to see Cason continue to develop the intermediate game, and he is already a phenomenal cutter. As I mentioned, plays out of the dunker spot a ton and has this off-ball movement skill that most rookies do not. Like I said, most rookies to me would probably just like sit in the dunker spot or back out. But Cason knows that Jalen Williams is driving to the baseline, so Strus is going to turn his head. He like cuts right to the middle. J-Dub makes an excellent pass, and Cason ends up finishing that shot. And he is a really nice screener, like we talked about a lot. It's a very underrated guard skill, and this is just a Cason play, right? He screens, no advantage, but he's going to end up grabbing the offensive rebound. I don't think I showed it much in this video or at all really, but Cason's a great offensive rebounding guard as well, just timing, positioning, effort, all that stuff. And then we're just going to finish it off with a simple backdoor cut. OKC just is going to have Cason cut backdoor, Cam Thomas ball watches, easy play, easy finish. And Cason is an interesting one because unlike most of the rookies we do, he's not going to have as much like leeway for development as a lot of the guys because the Thunder are a legitimate title contender. But I don't think Cason needs as much of that as most players. He was an effective, useful 6th, 7th man on one of the best teams in the NBA last year that made it to the second round of the playoffs. That's a remarkable starting point, and it's not like Cason was one of these older rookies that comes in and dominates right away, like a Hawkes, no disrespect or anything, of course, but like Cason was a freshman. He was a normal age freshman doing this as a normal age one and done rookie. And the way that Cason is polished already and has this kind of, I always talk about, feel for the game on both ends, as well as being an awesome athlete, especially on the defensive end. Like, I think Cason's offense is probably always going to be somewhat limited, catch and shoots, good decisions, secondary stuff. That's all the Thunder need from him. Like, they don't need him to do anything. Maybe at some point later in his career when the roster are different or the situation is different, he could kind of lean into his off-dribble mid-range game or something, but that's not really going to be an issue for a while. But it's more just this luxury of the Thunder having like 4 or 5 really, really great defensive guards. Caruso is obviously maybe the best guard defender in the league. Dort is an awesome on-ball defender. I think J-Dub is ascending to be one of the best defenders in the league. Shea's an awesome, events creator. And then they just get Cason in here as your like 4th, 5th defensive guard, and most teams would kill to have a guy like that in their starting rotation. So yeah, Cason, I'm really excited for. I think the ceiling down the line could be higher than it lets on just because of how high the baseline is, but he's, I think, just going to be another season of really awesome role playing. Hopefully some more like on-ball flashes, but I would expect more excellent defense on and off the ball and more efficient offense in a low usage role. And that's exactly what he needs to do for the Thunder to succeed. And it's just an unfathomable luxury that this is just one of their many lottery picks they have that's looking like an awesome player already.